are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. 'Cause baby girl, you are so easily pretty. The only reason that I can do tonight is 'cause I know you were invited. The only reason that this dress is can tight is 'cause I thought that you would like it. I'm only gone for this.
On this episode of Jessica Javens Talk, we're talking about something that I fell in love with again, entrepreneurship. When I started entrepreneurship, that was the first 7 years of my life. That's all I knew. And then I ran away from it for 19 years. And now I'm back at it because it is a calling in my heart. And we have here two very special guests, almost like a duo, and you're going to understand why in a minute. But if this is something that you have in your heart or you've been wanting or longing for and you're done with 9 to 5 and living somebody else's dream, join us here and share this episode with everybody that you know so they can also get inspired to follow their dream. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Keith Lee and Anthony Troutman. How are you guys doing today?
Awesome.
I heard that you guys are happy because your team won or something?
Yes.
Go Colts.
Go Colts.
Okay. So you guys are my special guests today, and I am so excited to talk about this because I've been re-flourishing with entrepreneurship, and you have to have a special mindset. You have to be a go-getter. You have to have a vision. You can't just be following somebody else's dream or whatever they tell you to do. So you're thinking outside the box all the time. You have to be creative. You need to be on top of stuff. But at the same time, it is so much fun. So I want to hear a little bit about you guys. First, you, Keith, tell me what drew you into entrepreneurship and now doing that and working with investments and so forth.
I mean, what made me start, should I say, it was like I was a manager at Foot Locker.
Wow.
Yeah. After high school and all that, so I was a manager, and it was just like, you got to think, when you working for them big brands and big corporations, you work for them, not that they work for you. So that means you got to click they clock. We got to punch they clock. You got to come in when they tell you got to come in. You got to clock out when they tell you got to come in. And when I was with the corporation, even as just a regular associate, I mean, I challenged the company. I mean, many different directions. So with the floor models, it's just like he always gave this market plan of saying, "Hey, this is how I want your store to look." And I kept looking at it like, okay, but I was in one of the stores that it didn't carry everything. So, like if you think the Michael Jordan series of shoe, my store, whenever there was a shoe release for that specific shoe, my store was one of the stores that didn't get the shoe. So I always went against the market plan because I'm like, why would I advertise the shoe and I don't even have it?
Okay, so that started getting into your nerves?
So that started getting to me a little bit because I'm like, okay, well, I started setting up my store the way I wanted to set my store up. I wasn't worrying about the shoe. But then, my district manager at the time, he kept coming at me like, who keeps changing my store display? And everybody kept pointing at me. But it was like, as much as I did that, I never got rolled up for it. He just kept wondering why I kept doing it. And I kept telling him, like, listen, the store don't even carry that particular shoe. So why would I advertise it? And he kept saying, like, that makes sense. But
you have to obey orders.
We are still a brand, and you have to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, fine.
How long did this go for?
This went on for months.
Wow.
And eventually, he moved me to a different store just to see if I do the same thing.
Okay.
But the crazy part about it, they have this corporation where they look at how much money you can rejuvenate there.
Mm-hmm.
And I took that store that was almost at the bottom of Foot Locker brand.
The second store.
The first store.
Oh, the first one.
I took that store almost from the bottom to almost top 10 of sales.
Wow.
And he didn't know how I was doing it. So he took me to another store.
Uh-huh.
And then he was like, I want to see if you can do the same thing.
Here.
He took me to another store that had bad sales.
Uh-huh.
And I did the same thing.
Wow.
I'm going
How are you feeling at that
but
point?
I'm like,
Because this is out of school?
yeah. And I'm thinking, oh, I got this. But then he moved me to another store. And now this store was really bad. It was a kids Foot Locker store. And the manager at that time, when I got to the store, the manager was going on a vacation. So think about it. You going on 13-day long vacation. I'm the only manager. That means I have to work open to close 13 days straight.
That's crazy.
From 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Think about it. And some days we've had store visits where he'd show up to the store. Now I have to stay longer. Some days we had audits where we there 3, 4 o'clock in the morning counting all the inventory.
How long did it take you
So-
just taking that?
Just doing an audit one day. Like I said, I think I get there 9 o'clock. Store opens at 10. I was there until like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and still got to get right back up the next morning just to come back to work. So it lasted for me. It lasted probably about 6, 7 days of me doing that, and then my body shut down on me. And
Of course.
and my
Of
lady
course.
at the time, she couldn't wake me up. So she called my mom. My mom came over. She tried. They couldn't wake me up. They called the ambulance. Ambulance showed up, and then they put the little smelling whatever in my nose, and I popped up like it was nothing. Like, hold on, what are y'all doing?
Oh my gosh.
And they were like, sir, they couldn't wake you up, so I'm looking at them like I'm asleep. But hold on, wait a minute, what time is it? And it was time for me to go to work. And he was like, oh, so you ain't got to worry about it. We already talked to your boss. You don't have to go to work today. They let you off. I'm like, why would y'all do that?
Wow.
But with that being said, they wanted me to come to work the next day. Think about it, I work for a corporation.
Right.
I work for them.
Yep.
They wanted me to come to work. And I thought about that. I got to the store, and I walked in the store, just looked around, thought about what just happened last night or the
You were
previous
still
day.
processing.
And then I'm like, that's crazy that they still want me to come to work after a day that they couldn't wake me up. What if they wasn't going to be able to wake me up? For real.
Yeah.
And you wanted me to come to work. You know what? I looked at the store. I opened the gate, closed the gate right back, locked it, and left. Never looked back.
Wow.
That's been since I was like 20, 21, 22 years old.
Wow.
Never looked back. And from that day on, I've never punched nobody's clock.
Wow.
I'm 45 now, and since 22 years old, I've never, from that point, punched somebody's clock.
That's incredible.
So that's where my entrepreneurship started, is just thinking. At one point in time, I was somebody's employee.
Yeah.
Now I'm the employer.
Exactly.
So instead of constantly dealing with somebody telling you what to do, I like even with my brand ambassadors, even with the models and stuff that I deal with now, I don't have nobody on no time clocks. We got this to do. We got to be at such and such place at such and such time, and boom. Like, I'm in the entertainment business, so that's what we're doing.
And I want to tap into that in just a second, because that's my next thing I want to ask you. I'm very curious about this, and I know everybody is too. But let me ask about you, Anthony, because I know you guys are working together. But before we get you two together, tell me about you. How did it work for you with as far as an entrepreneurship and your specialty, which is marketing?
Basically, I'm a work in progress. I'm still punching in the clock and everything right now. Keith not only is a brother, a friend, but he's also a mentor to me. And I'm one of his ambassadors for his brand, Good Vibes. And as I work with Keith, I'm working on my own brand as well. It's called Mr. Clean. It's going to be T-shirts, hats, and whatever else I can put out there. Because I'm also a male model. I'm a runway model for here in Indianapolis. And it's just a work in progress. I'm studying under him, basically, seeing what he does. He's a good person to learn off of, and it's going to take me where I need to be when I get there.
Of course. And this is a journey that it just keeps growing. It's like the learning never stops, really, you know?
Yes.
But to be together with somebody who's actually experienced or is ahead and believes in you, that's also a mindset of an entrepreneur, of a person with vision. With me, the only people who do not support it are the people who don't have the vision, who are not doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Have you experienced that before? It's funny, right? The people who don't believe in you are the ones who are not doing it either.
They're not doing
Yes.
it.
Right?
Not doing it.
Okay, so thank you for that, and I love that you guys have partnership like this. This is amazing. Keith, I know that you did so many things since then, and I know I was going to ask you about like why and how did you come to a point that you bought a mall here in Indianapolis that was actually on the decline. You didn't buy it when it was high, you bought it when it was low. And this is sometimes something very scary for for somebody to purchase and to invest. Why did you do it?
So the thing about the mall is we really didn't know the shape or condition of the mall. I did. I know I didn't. So the corporation that I'm with now, part of now, Durga Property Holdings, is, he buys stuff, and how he is, he just like, hey, wherever he buys, it's like we all have like that the first dib on it because he's like 70, 80 years old. He like, but he's a part of the brand Wyndham Hotels. He's one of the top tier guys of Wyndham Hotels, and that involved many different hotels, Baymont, La Quinta, and all them different brands. Days Inn, Budget 8, and he also has gas stations and now shopping malls. So when we first acquired this mall, he ended up also acquiring 6 other malls within the package. So with this mall, we necessarily didn't know what it was, because as long as I was coming to Indianapolis, even before I moved here, I never been in there. I never went to the mall. Never. Not one time have I ever went to the mall, so I never knew what it was. And finally, acquiring the mall, I showed up. He asked me about coming to check out the mall. We had already owned the plaza here at 38 and Post Road, old Kroger's building. And I thought that's what he was asking me about. He said, I need you to go check on the mall. And I'm thinking that's what he's talking about. So when I came, this was 2819. And he said, let me know what you think. And I'm like, what you mean let you know what I think? I already know about this place. And he said, are you in the right place? I'm like, I'm at the plaza. He said, no, you have to go to Washington Square Mall. I said, where is that? So he sent me the address.
Okay.
And then once I got to the mall, it was dark. It was dark. It was probably 6, 7 o'clock, but it was pitch black.
Turned off.
The crazy part is there was no parking lot lights. None of the lights was on. None of the lights in the whole parking lot worked. Only light that you seen like from the street was from Target, like Target sign. And on the phone, I tell him like, why would we buy a closed mall?
Mm-hmm.
He said it's not closed, it's open. Just go in there. I'm like, dude, I'm in the parking lot. All the lights are out. He said, what? I say, listen, ain't no lights. All the parking lot lights is off. So he didn't even know that. And then when I finally walked in, I met with the security, and then that's when I noticed, oh, this mall is actually open.
Oh my goodness.
So walk through the mall. I see everything in the mall.
And this is after you already made the investment.
Yes.
That's
so
scary.
We already have them all now. So the thing about it, me walking in that door that day in September, that was my first time walking in.
How are you feeling right
I was
there?
like, wow. So we actually bought a mall. So that's what I was thinking. We bought a mall. But listen, what's wrong with the lights? That was my first thing. What's wrong with the lights?
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know. We had to check into it. So basically walking through the mall, seeing all the stores, it still had quite a few stores inside of there. And we still had Bath and Body Works. We still had all the shoe stores. We still had Dick's Sporting Goods as well as Burlington. But now Dick's Sporting Goods as well as Burlington Coat Factory, they was already leaving the mall when I got there. So they last days was December.
Oh, I
So
see.
I had no time to try to prevent the closure. Even though I tried, I put every effort in possible. And the only thing that kept coming up was this mall has a lot of theft and it has a lot of violence. And I say, well, the first thing I'm gonna do, I had set up a meeting with the police department, with the chief, with many detectives, and not just with IMPD, but with Department of Homeland, with Lawrence Police, Cumberland Police, and Warren Police. So I set up many meetings because I felt like the only way I would be able to give people a better mall or a safer place to shop is to have police on my side, as well as security. Because when I got there was only one security guard on duty. One security guard cannot manage a
Oh, no.
million square foot building.
So how all of this involvement that you started there, how did that transform from where you got the place to?
With the transformation of what it was until now, like I said, the first thing I implemented was safety and security, because I had to be able to protect
Absolutely.
not just my investment. We had to protect
R-
people,
Of course, or else
the
nobody's gonna
customers,
go. Yeah.
the consumers. We had to protect even just the employees, the businesses itself. And only way to do that is with security. And then I also installed a 50 plus camera system in there, inside as well as outside, to be able to say, listen, if something happened, we have it. If the officers show up, if the detectives show up, here's the footage of what happened. And I gladly hand it over. Here, this is what it was. But
So you were basically, you never had a mall before.
never.
So it was a business investment that you did at this point, and you went because you were partner with somebody who has already a wonderful track record.
Yeah, I mean,
And so you believed in him, in his vision, and you partnered with him.
It's just you think like, for me to get the offer of saying that's your mall. First thing in my head was, ooh, a black man owning a mall. What? This is about to hit the news. The first time I went on air was during the pandemic. Thinking about it, we had just got the mall, and then 4 months later had to close the mall. So think about the investment. Now you're really thinking, oh, we done wasted our time. That's the first thing going in your head was, oh, we done wasted our time, because now the mall is shut down, and we don't know how long we're going to be shut down. That means there is no financing coming in.
Right.
And even though like the governor and said, you still have to pay, people still have to pay rent, because a landlord can still charge you. They can technically still charge you. You still technically have to pay rent. But when you got, I guess it was like when you got a relationship, either the landlord might tell you, well, don't worry about it right now. Let's see how long this shutdown is going to happen.
Right.
But for me, rent still got to get paid.
Yeah.
And my owner, he's still expecting that money.
Oh my gosh, that's
So
such a big
just like
problem.
just like the city is still expecting their tax money.
Of course.
So it don't matter if we would have stayed down 4 months or 6 months or 8 months, I would have still been paying.
How'd you handle that?
So I mean, stuff still got handled. It still got handled the way it needed to be. We still had tenants that were still paying because they didn't want to get behind. Some tenants were still paying,
Okay.
no matter what. Because think about nobody knew how long the shutdown
Right.
was going to happen. But during the shutdown, I lost almost 50% of the mall.
Ugh.
Like people like think about some of these people, they are privately owned. They're not working with a corporation.
True.
The corporation don't own them. Their finances come from what they sell.
Yeah.
So think about some of these people are entrepreneurs. Some of these people didn't have regular jobs. They quit their job to open their business.
Right.
So when you going through a 4-month shutdown, where are they money finna come from?
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I mean I understand that people end up losing their businesses, and that was all over the country. Not just talking about Washington Square Mall, but that was all over the country. People was losing business.
Yeah.
People was losing jobs.
Yep.
But
Totally unpredictable.
even when the pandemic, the post-pandemic when it was over, said it was like, yeah, people coming back, starting to come back to work now. But now it's like some of these businesses is already gone. So instead of me having like 60 businesses inside the mall, I went down to like 30 businesses.
So now, comparing to your experience at Foot Locker, that amount of stress with this amount of stress is totally different, but it's very stressful.
Yeah, it's very stressful.
So how was it for you this at this point? Because now you're also responsible for other people in a way where before not too much, right?
Like I just put it to the point where like even to the public also wanted to hear my voice and know what my plans were.
Okay.
And I wasn't gonna give up on it. I think I could have easily threw in the towel, cause think about it. The chairman instantly was like, "Chief, do you think we made a bad investment?" And I say, I don't necessarily think so, but think about it. If we close down to restructure it, revitalize it, or even rebuild it, think about how many people will be affected by this shutdown. I'm not for taking away somebody's money or taking away their job. I'm not for that. So I looked at it like if we was to shut this mall down, we own almost 80% of the property. We own each interest of the property. So if we shut this mall down and say we're about to reconstruct the mall, that means we will be closing each entrance to the mall. That also affects AMC Theater. That affects Longhorn Steakhouse. That affects Target. That affects the furniture store. That affects anybody that needs to use one of the mall entrances just to get to their business. That would affect everybody. So instead of that, I told him I wouldn't want to do that. Was it a mistake on my behalf because of how, especially now from then to now, with the further and further decline that the mall is going? And think about mall business is different now compared to what it used to be. A lot of mall businesses are now online.
Yes, that was going to be my next question to you.
Yeah.
So how has that affected you with your business and where you are with that right now?
I mean that affected the whole country.
Oh yeah.
Because
I've seen stores closing out in and out like
Yeah.
everywhere, big stores.
So think about it, you got big brands that have closed their doors. Big brands of restaurant chains that have closed their doors. And you think if a big brand that was a multi-billion-dollar business can close, you can definitely expect for a privately owned business to close because listen, oh my God, where the next funding gonna come from?
Right. And I think that's one of the reasons why people who have a job, they feel that it's more secure because of the instability of having businesses because it goes up and down. So how would you, because I know a lot of people who would like to have a business, but they never actually walk or act towards that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
A lot of people
Right.
won't step out on faith.
What would you say to these people?
You have to step out on faith in order to believe. In order to believe in what you can do, you have to take that leap. Me, the toughest thing I've ever done, and I know that's the toughest thing a lot of people do, they fail to believe in themselves.
I agree.
So, first and foremost, that would be my only thing to say to anybody. Believe in yourself.
Sweet and simple. Just have to work on it.
Straight to the point.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Like I tell my son and my daughter and all that believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. How can somebody else believe in you if you don't even believe in you?
That's it.
So, and then next thing is you have to step out on faith. So, even when I'm talking to like people like Tony and other people that's next to me, I'm like, listen, if you want to retire, let me help you retire.
I love that.
Like I have had a partner. He was my chef in my club, my bar. He was my chef at Premier Ultra Lounge. Him and his wife, they always did the food. But he worked a 9 to 5. And he was an outside. He worked for the city. He was an outside person, the people that was helping build the roads and stuff. So one point in time, he kept saying, like, Keith, I want to retire. I want to start working for myself. I'm like, dude, just do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. Even if, think about it, you got people that leave a city off of just waking up and saying, I don't want to be here no more.
Yep.
they ain't got 2 nickels to rub together, but they would leave and bounce and go. Bye. I had a cousin that she left Ohio, and she said she would never come back. She moved to Texas, and she never looked back. She didn't have no money to go. She just moved and left. I had a cousin that moved to Phoenix.
There's so many stories like that, like famous people today that did that leap.
And listen, and then you become what you never thought you could be.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this touches me. I love that. Thank you.
And that's what I'm saying. And I feel like that's what happened to my story is because once I walked away from Foot Locker, that's when I put all my time into my craft. I was a DJ at the time, and I was a music producer. I was a record producer. So it was like, from that moment, my whole story began of, listen, music every day, music, going hard and hard music. And I end up in Atlanta. I worked for one of LaFace Records recording studios. So I ran that studio. It's like, so for many years, it was just like, oh, music, DJ. And then I end up getting next to DJ God rest his soul, man, that made Walk It Out, the Walk It Out song. And me and him clicked. And it was like, okay, cool. You my brother, you my friend. So that's when I got further and deeper into DJing.
The doors start opening.
Yeah, and then my uncle at the time, he owned a nightclub called the Ritz nightclub in Cincinnati. And I'm like, Unc, I want to DJ. He don't even know I can DJ. The Unc, I want to DJ. Finally, he let me DJ, and it was like everything else from that point on was history. 12 years I stayed with him and ran that club with him. And only thing I said to him was like, I want to be where you at. And when it comes to the music, to bars and nightclubs, that was my beginning. He was my beginning into that business because all he ever told me was, just watch what I do.
I love that. And you know what's funny? I always, when I went to corporate, I exit entrepreneurship. I came to this country. I went into corporate. Was working in banking. I thought that I had to climb that ladder. And when you get to the top, you're looking like, oh, this is it? It was not at all what I had imagined. And there was a cap. Like, can't go beyond this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once you step into that, you have the courage and you believe in yourself and you step into entrepreneurship, there is no cap anymore. There is no cap on creativity. There's no more cap in your power. There is no more cap into where you want to get. You set the limits.
Right.
And that for me is absolutely incredible. So even with the ups and downs that you were sharing with us today, I'm sure that you agree that it's all worth it. And you learn so much with that, much more than you learn when being trained in a corporate office. Anthony and Keith, how did you guys start working together? What was the chemistry?
I started off modeling for Good Vibes and became Keith's ambassador for the males. So we started working, getting closer and closer, developed a good friendship and brotherhood and everything. And it's been going on strong ever since that happened.
So you guys started with you modeling.
Yes.
And then you guys became almost like brothers, like you described,
Yes.
super friends, right? Super close. And now you guys are in this venture together in many
Yes.
different aspects. And I like that too, because with entrepreneurship, you don't have to stick with one thing,
Mhm.
right? So you have the diversity. So it's never boring.
Yes.
Never boring. I remember being bored at work because it was always the same thing. I could do everything with my eyes closed. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you're like, you feel boxed. You know, it's like, oh, I can't move. No, I was made to move and to create more. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So what other dynamics are you working right now? Why marketing? What took you to that? And why is it so important with your businesses?
Well, I have a dream of getting a big building, and since I'm in the modeling and everything, I would like to make a venue that just has nothing but anything to do with modeling. Have a couple runways in it, a selfie spot where you can go in there and take selfies and everything, and
That's
just
so
make it
cool.
a super center for modeling and stuff
That
like
is
that.
so cool.
I know that there's a lot of venues here that when they host shows and stuff, that they have to prepare and do certain things to get the runways together and stuff like that. I want a business that will have the runway there, and all you have to do is put your final touches on for that person that is renting the venue.
Right. That's so
And
cool.
also to be able to put not just one show on in that building, but to have another spot maybe on the other side that's blocked off to host two or three venues of fashion shows and stuff.
How beautiful that dream. I'm loving it. And
Yes.
the more you think about it, the more detailed you get into that vision, the closer you are of it happening. So
Yes.
keep doing that. I'm a dream coach too, so I help people to I put fire on it. I love it. Guys, this is amazing. Now, what is the message that you guys want to convey here? I know that you guys, of course, you have your brand and you have stuff going on. What is next? And what is a message that you want to leave to those people who have considered, they feel it in their heart, but they don't have, they need more push? For me, I'm going to let you with, for me is connection, is you getting people that believe in you too, and having the right connections. If you're hanging around with people who don't have a vision, you're gonna probably be like that. You know what I'm saying? So you need to get out of the box. So what's your take?
Like your like that message right there speaks for itself. Um, just because you start together, don't mean you're gonna finish together. Like, y'all can have a great connection. That don't mean it's gonna be the perfect connection. So, I've been around many people. Many people have been next to me. Um, Friends, family, anybody. Many people has been next to me, but I am me. I personally, I know how I am. I personally handpick anybody I know I have around me. Um, and I watch 'em. Like, you know what I'm saying, before I even open that door, I watch. I'm gonna watch you. So even in the bar business, even in the model industry, it's like I first got my start. Even with next to him, it was somebody invited me to their show. I'm like, cool, there I go, and it's like all them that was around me, all them model. So I'm like, I might be into something now, different now. So just cause your career start in one direction, don't mean it stays in that single direction.
Absolutely.
So it was just like I went to the shows, and like I said, I was always around them. So it was like I went to the shows, and I kept going to the shows, and then that's when everybody figured out who I was. Um, Good Vibes itself is a brand all of its own. I own the brand. I'm the founder and owner of the brand Good Vibes. So that brand is in stores, many stores: Target, Marshalls, Ross, TJ Maxx, City Gear, Urban Gear. Many stores my brand is
So
in,
cool.
and people, like I said, they eventually figured it out. And what happened with my brand? What made me start it? It was post pandemic. Everybody was trying to live their good vibes because it's like,
Totally.
listen, at this time,
Hmm.
millions of people lost their lives during this time, and it was like a lot of people. I kept seeing all these little signages and stuff going up. Good vibe this, good vibe that, good vibe this. I'm like, listen, don't,
Speaking to you.
I'm like, what? That what? Wait a minute. I know that. Hold up. I'm like, I know that's mine. Like, but then it was just like a guy that worked in Finish Line. He said, can you put your brand like on some shorts or something? Um, I'm like, yeah, but why? He said, because we can wear athletic wear here in the store. It don't have to be a Finish Line shirt. It can be any athletic wear. And I say, cool. So I put it on a t-shirt and some shorts for him, and he wore them to work. And everybody in the store wanted it. Every employee in the store wanted it. And he was like, listen, Keith made it for me, blah, blah, blah. And everybody came to me, can you make me some shorts and blah, blah, blah. So that's when I'm like, wait a minute. All that mass production stuff that's in the stores, nope, you can never get that from me again. Whatever the store has is what the store has. But from now on, I brought every business that I had to Indianapolis, including the brand, because I was like, you know what? Instead of me still mass producing, now I want the people to come to me directly. I want your outfit or your shorts, your hat, your t-shirt to be one of one. Meaning, like what I have on right now, this is all me, except for maybe the jeans and whatnot and the shoes. But I want everything I have to be one of one. If I wear a certain color shoes, I'm gonna get a hat that's made directly for them shoes. Or if I wear a certain blazer, I'm gonna get a hat to match the blazer. So with that being said, I wanted the brand to become one of its own. And now it's like I want you to come to me to get it. You can go to Target or all of them that you want. You might find a shirt, maybe, but now you know the source. So once that happened, that's when a lady that was giving a fashion show asked me if I wanted to come out and watch it, and she invited me to Chicago. So I went to Chicago, saw the show. While I was at the show, she said, "Do you think you can put your brand in my next show?" The next show coming up was New York Fashion Week. And I was like, oh my goodness. I ain't been to New York in a long time. So it was like, man, go to him. Hey, Sherry want me to put the brand in her show. Her name's Sherry Gilhart. She's the owner, operator of Model Inc., Model Icon. And she was like, Keith, why don't you put your brand in my next show, New York, and blah, blah, blah. And next you know, I say, let me think about it. I got to see how much inventory I got to put together for it. And go to him. I know he has a lot because, like I said, with his brand, Mr. Clean itself, he normally in suits, like suited and booted, top to bottom. And I looked at him like, that's exactly the same brand that I'm going for. Not just your T-shirts and pants and all that. I wanted the collared shirts, button-ups, blazers. And I'm like, we normally in them every single day. He only time he's not in it is when he's at his regular job. But outside of his regular job, when we hang out, we dress like this.
That's awesome.
So it was just like with that, we went to New York. She told me how many models I needed to dress. It was like 40 models.
Oh,
and I'm
that's
like,
a lot of clothes.
I'm like, oh my God, I gotta dress 40 models? That's a challenge.
Yeah.
And I never dressed a woman before. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this is about to be tough. I know what to do with the men.
Yeah.
And then I got him next to me. So it's like, dude, we got the men all day. So me and him then combined our wardrobes. Like, here it is. This is what I'm bringing to the show. He like, well, this is what I'm bringing to the show. But then I'm like, dang, I got to find out what I'm going to do for the women.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
How long did you have to figure it out?
It was short.
It was short. 2
Oh.
months. It was
Ooh.
2 months time.
That's
It was 2
stressful.
months. So from Chicago to New York, it was like 2 month time to be like, oh, we got 2 months to put this together. And finally, I just went. I went just window shopping. I just went window shopping. Like, oh my, what can I do? I went from this boutique to that boutique to this boutique to that store to that store, and I'm like, listen, I gotta figure something out. Online, looking online at women's clothes, and I'm like, I was always into women's clothes, but I'm like, I love how a woman dress. So it was like from shoes head to toe. I was like, I love how a woman dress. So this should be easy. It wasn't that easy. Wasn't that easy. But I made it work. And when we got to New York, she couldn't believe it. She thought I wasn't gonna be able to do it because I'm like, I never dressed a woman before, and half of
She
the
knew.
show is all women. So I'm like, she didn't think I would be able to do it. She kept calling every day. We also kept getting into it, bumping heads because she like, are you coming or not?
Oh my.
And then it was like,
Oof.
fancy. By the time we got to New York, the show happened.
Wow.
And we did a great job.
Congratulations.
And
Wow.
then from that moment, that's when other people, that's even from people in New York, found out. So he the one behind Good Vibes?
Wow.
And after that, everybody wanted us to be a part of the show.
Amazing.
That was his first time ever walking.
In New York.
New York.
Yes.
That was his first time ever walking in New York.
That is so cool.
So I took him and another girl who was, at the time, she was also one of the brand ambassadors. And both of them normally to walk for Sherry Gearhart in any of her model icon shows, you have to go through her extraneous model
Mm-hmm.
phase, and they didn't do it. Only thing I told was, hey, I'm bringing my brand ambassadors with me, and she said, okay, fine. But then when she saw that they was getting dressed and other designers was also looking at them too, like,
Oh, can I
y'all
use
in
you?
the show? Are y'all in the show?
Right.
Because I get the
Yes.
number, and it went from there. So, but when he finally walked, she was like, oh, you got something. Now she like, I want him in all my shows.
Exactly.
Isn't that incredible? The power of connection, of being face to face, of it's just amazing. The magic happening. It's just like, uh,
And then after that, that's when now we started doing our own shows.
right.
We started
Of
hosting our
course.
own
And
shows.
now it's developing even more. It's just like
Yes,
amazing.
yes, yes.
Congratulations,
and like,
guys.
And like as a DJ, I DJ for one of the BET Rip the Runway shows before within my career, and it was like Rip the Runway is no longer on BET no more. So I thought about it. Why don't I try to bring it back?
Mm.
So 2 years ago, I put on a Rip the Runway show, and I was shooting it back to BET just to see if they was interested in possibly let's revisit this runway show for BET for the network, and they shot it down because of it was like it wasn't to them, the video footage of it wasn't
Uh-huh.
of quality to them.
Yeah.
And they said we like what you did, and you did all of that on your own. I'm like, yeah, this was all me, all my production, even videography wise. I had videographers there, multiple photographers, and I built the whole set, whole stage, everything. And it was like, you did all that? And they was like, yeah. I told them, yeah. And then next thing you know, they like, we interested in looking at more of what you can do. So this past year, I just put on this second Rip the Runway show.
Wow.
And I was happy just one of them people from the network showed up. I was just happy about that, and I was blown away. I tried my best to do everything that I knew should have went right.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be another amazing show.
That's amazing. What happens to your self-esteem when you keep doing these things and it keeps happening? And what happens?
Like I tell people all the time, if you got me, I got you. But more importantly, I got us.
It's amazing when you find out how much that you can create with our lives when we just believe, right?
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Anthony, what's the last thing that you would like to leave our listeners with today?
No matter how old you are and you have a dream, reach for it. I started modeling 4 years ago. I'll be 60 New Year's Eve.
Oh my gosh.
So it doesn't matter how old you are. If you see it, reach for it, go for it, and it'll come out just how you want it to be. If you see something that you want to do, your dreams, it's only an arm's length away. Grab it, go for it.
Yep.
You never know where you can go.
No, as long as you're breathing, you should be dreaming,
Yes.
right? Guys, I want to thank you so much for coming in today. This was such a cool way to finish our Sunday. And if you're watching this show, make sure that you're following them, clicking the like button and sharing this with everybody that you can, because people need to be inspired to know that the power within themselves is far greater than any circumstances, situations, or conditions. How can people reach you? Again, good vibes.
Good vibes, powered by good vibes. I opened up my own radio station inside Washington Square Mall. So to find me or to contact me anyway, that's where you find me at. And if you don't find me there, one of my employees will also get in contact with me for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anthony, how about you?
You can find me on Facebook under my two names on there, Anthony Troutman, and the other one is Tony Troutman. Or you can look for me on Instagram, Mr. Clean Troutman.
Yeah, I got Facebook too.
Awesome. Yes.
Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Almost every social media
Yep.
platform I'm on there, and it's like normally powered by good vibes, or it's gonna say Keith Lee Jr.
Thank you so much for bringing this inspiration, this great good vibes. Thank you so much. And I appreciate the dynamics and how you guys work together and are together. And I'm so happy that I had this opportunity. This show is brought by some of my sponsors, which is Forever Living, the best aloe vera juice in the world that help my health, and also Purium, that is the ultimate life transformation company with superfoods that will clean and make you shine from inside out. This show is brought by the IamBeastNetwork.com and Andre Creighton Show. My name is Jessica Javens, and this is Jessica Javens Talk.
Tell me you like me. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to string me, string me.